Do you ever wonder why people are so happy? Like, how do they stay happy? Do you ever look at people and like, why can't I be happy like her? I used to be that way. I used to be like, man, what is so great about their life? And I have realized over now nearly 3 years since I started my health journey that it really does just start with your health. It can. That is a huge place of unhappiness. It was for me, at least. I was spending most of my time on the couch. I was not getting out and seeing people. I am an extrovert. I get my energy from being with people and being outgoing, whatever. And I wasn't doing that. I thought I had become an introvert. No, I was just kind of isolating myself and then I had no energy because of it. But the thing is, there was a lot that I couldn't do. I mean, almost anything. And so that's a lot of how my journey started, was just really understanding that, at church, they would always ask us, okay, what is God saying and what are you going to do about it? And immediately the answer in my head, I knew what it was. There wasn't anything I could do. Physically, I could do virtually nothing. And so what am I going to do about it? I knew that the first step had to be my health. And at 326 pounds, that was really overwhelming and felt really insurmountable. And then, of course, I would go into this cycle of just kind of being, depressed and just like more of the same, vegging out on my phone, putting junk on TV and sitting on the couch with my feet up and ordering pizza. That was my life. That was my life every day. And what I've learned and realized is how powerful it is for every aspect of our life to take the steps and say yes to getting healthy. When I said yes, finally, to getting healthy and just taking that first step almost 3 years ago now, it changed everything. Everything about my life, the direction that I felt my life was going, changed overnight. And there is something really powerful about making the decision to get healthy. And it's interesting when I think about that and how my life is so different. I spend 5 minutes a day in the morning thinking about what I'm grateful for, things that I don't deserve. I think about and write down what would make today great and an affirmation. And then in the evening, I take 5 minutes to reflect on what made today great and something that I learned. And that's been really powerful. Powerful because time and time again, I'm reminded of how much my life has changed and what I can recognize in all the things in my life that are different, that I focused on just the opposite and the negative of it. And so if you are like that, if you are always looking around and thinking, gosh, everybody's life is better than mine is so terrible, and you're not really doing anything about it, I want to challenge you to start with your health. So Kevin Tempter is one of my mentors. And he wrote this book. It's called The 7 Disciplines of Uncommon Freedom. I think about the first discipline in this book so much because it's so true. This is a book that's not necessarily about health. It's really about just, it says embrace these disciplines to reach your potential and build a life you love. So the book it's about just setting up your life the way you want it to be. But he starts with the first discipline, get your body on mission. He says, your health is the first hill to take. Without it, we have a weakened capacity for impact. A weakened capacity for impact. Maximizing your physical health will give you the energy to perform at your best in every facet of life. I totally agree with that, 100%. And I love that he wrote this book and started with that concept from the get-go. He says, why optimize your health? Well, what activity is there that being unhealthy would help you perform better? I'll read it again. What activity is there that being unhealthy would help you perform better? None. So Kevin is a health coach like me, but he's done all kinds of other things. They're some of the most generous people I know. They do mission trips and their tithing is well over 10%. Like, he's just someone I really respect and admire. And so, but he does coach like me. He says, we've seen thousands of clients whose spiritual and mental health improved when their physical health improved. We've also seen people whose lack of physical health has kept them in emotional and spiritual bondage. We are integrated as people. We are integrated. If one part is unhealthy, it affects the rest, right? I mean, does that make sense to you? That made 100% sense to me. That is what my life was. That is where I was. This last part I want to read for you. This part is really, really speaks to me because it really kind of gives a picture of what my life was like. I was going a long time, weeks and months at least, where I knew that God was urging me to get healthy and that was the next step in order to serve him properly. I served him in a great capacity while I got less and less healthy. Well, I got more and more and more unhealthy. I poured myself into a job that was 100% full-time ministry. And I got more unhealthy during that period of time. I can't even tell you. Like, if you would have looked at my life at that time, you seriously would have asked, like, are you trying to kill yourself? Like, it was really poor living, poor health. And so this really speaks to me, this last part. It says, what a shame to have to say no to God because we're physically unable to go. What a shame to have a spirit and soul housed in a body that cannot give God the full service he intended when he uniquely designed us with the capability of reaching our full potential. Do you want to live life more abundantly? To live your faith vigorously? To be in a position to help others and do the work that needs to be done? Get your body on mission and watch how every key life area improves. I love that because that is what's happened to me. I feel so on purpose or on mission. I feel like I have purpose, and I didn't know what saying yes to my health. I knew that God had a plan, but I didn't know what that would look like. And I never, ever dreamed that I would be doing what I'm doing today, but it's life-changing. And that's not to say that if you get healthy, then you become a coach. A lot of people do because it's one of those things that happens to you in your life that you're like, it's kind of like getting a great pair of shoes at a great price. Like, you just want to tell everybody, or a great restaurant that you visit, you tell everybody. So it's a little bit like that. But what I want to encourage you with today is, if you are feeling stuck, if you are feeling like you don't have purpose, or if you're feeling like you have no direction, I want to challenge you just to say yes. Say yes to 2 weeks, 30 days. Get some tips from me. Start with something to improve your health. Sometimes even just making that decision, you don't even get started. Let's say you're starting on Monday, but if you make a decision today to start on Monday, and you're really committed to it, you are going to feel your life change. The direction of your life is changing. If you need help with that, if you want to get some tips, if you want to talk about things that you can do to improve your health, like, listen, my journey is not over. Like, I've decided to get healthy. I didn't decide to lose weight. I decided to get healthy, but that was a process too. I first thought I was signing up to get weight off my body, but it became that I was just becoming a healthy person, and this is the way I wanted to live. And that, has that domino effect too. But it did not happen overnight. That was a process. And if you need help just getting started, please reach out to me. I want to have an impact on people. I want to share this, it's pain and hurt and also the overcome. I love sharing about it and helping other people do it. So just let me know if we can talk.